Hi, this is Kathy. You're gonna love this video. Hi, this is Kathy. I was doing a customer quilt a couple days ago and I ran into a problem using my QuiltMotion. And when I figured out the answer, I thought it might be helpful to some of you. So let me walk through this little process of setting a triangle and see if it might help someone. So I wanted to set a triangle in each one of these blocks, and I wanted to fussy set it rather than do it as a panto, so I knew it would line up inside of each block. So I chose this block right here, and as is like that, when I go to set it down here, I go like this. So I'm going to drop my needle in the corner where I want it to be. And so I want it to set it at this corner, and then I drop my needle so that I can get it exact. And then I want to set this corner. But then what do I do with those top two corners? Because I want it to set up here. I could go up to this mark and set that. And I could go to this mark and set that. And that might work, but if you go into your drawing tools, so if I go to this where it says plugins, and I want to do a marking tool, I want to see if this is going to line up into where I need it to. So marking tool, I'm going to drop my needle, add my first mark. I'm going to go up into the center, add another mark, go down, add another mark, and go over. So as you can see, my design is a little bit too large for my block. And so I figured that if I dropped it about right here, not down into the block, it would work better, but I need 3 points. So I go back and I want to go into, sorry about that. I want to go into a tilted block. So now I have 3 points. So if I were to drop that right in the corner like that and put my mark there and go into the corner here, I know this seems really long. And now I want to mark that top one again. You can still see it's a little bit too large for the block. So what I found would work is if I bring my needle down into the block just slightly. Now, if you can go in closer to that, you can see that will fit into the block. So that's what I did, and I quilted all of these blocks. Sorry, lost my scissors. I quilted all of these blocks, and then my problem is, what do I do when I go up to this block? So logically, what you would think you would be doing is flipping your block. Okay, and that looks like that would work. However, there's no way for me to set that. And as hard as I tried, I could not flip these 3 dots over. I called the Grace Company and they ran into the same dilemma and they couldn't flip the 3 blocks over. So I went to bed, and the next morning when I turned the computer on, and somehow, for some reason, my finger slipped and I hit the block like that, and I thought, the whole block turns. And so I thought, wait a second, if I go and I twist the whole block, so now I'm just placing my needle down, I'm going to put that corner there, I'm going to place my needle here, put that corner there, I'm going to drop it into the block a little bit so that I can't see any of my quilt block. And I put that needle there, and I think, okay, will that work? Well, let's go see. Let's make some more marks and see if that will actually quilt into the block. So once again, I'm going to make some marks. I've already made that other mark there. Okay, we're just going to go like this. And if you go in really close, you'll see that that lines up perfectly in there. So let me walk back on that and show you again how you can set the next block. I would go in and I would put that corner, put that corner, put that corner, and I know it will work. So you can just fussy quilt that block by block by block by moving it. And now let me go back and I'll teach you one other thing that we've got, and let me remove all these marks. And let me show you how I could have done that as a panto with 6 designs going across instead of placing one block and one block and one block. And I've got blue thread in my machine so that you can see when I'm placing each one of these blocks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and set that up as if it were a panto. So I'm going to choose the very same design. I'm going to choose 6 of them. You can just type in 6. I know that this is about 2.5 inches because I measured that, so I can put that. It doesn't matter. I don't have to do any of that because once I set this as an entire panto, it will line up perfectly no matter if I put that design in or not. Now I'm going to go in and I don't have my plugins until I place it. I'm going to place it as a single pattern. I want to have 4 blocks. I'm going to go in and I'm going to do this marking tool. So this is a really interesting thing. I like to put my needle down just so I have the exact right block, and you can see that dropped a needle right there. I'm going to go up to this one, place it down. Trying to do this fast and it's probably not. And if you can see my screen, you can see that each time I add this block, now I'm going to come all the way. I'm going to just kind of put some fussy ones in there because who knows if I pin this on straight, you know. Let's see. I could have done this a different way, I guess. But now I'm going to start coming back, and you'll see the little X's start to appear on my screen because I want to do this for both the top side and the bottom side. I know it's time consuming. I just have to go up to there, I guess. Now these placements don't do anything except show you where the blocks are going to lie. So I'm going to take this panto, I'm going to put the bottom corner right there and touch it. That's where I want my bottom corner to lie. Over here, I want the bottom corner to lie right there. So I'm going to touch that one. Now, I know that that needs to be down a little bit. And I know that this needs to be right there. And if you look carefully, you can see that that design is going to fit perfectly in each one of these. So where I stopped quilting here, then I placed the block and did it here and did it here, you don't have to do that if you want to save some time. Now, if I push go, it's going to start and it's going to quilt. It's going to be in green. It's going to start at this corner. It's going to end up over here. Now, if I go back and I want to place this in the top blocks, remember what I have to do. I have to twist the entire design. And so I'm just going to move this up here to get it out of the way. And so now I'm going to move over here, put this design. Oh, I forgot. It's this one up here. I'm going to put that design. Then I'm going to put that corner. And you can see that here I'm making it line up right.
And let me see where you did that one.
So I just twisted the design. I did not flip the design. I didn't flip it side to side or either way. I just flipped it like that, and I can go to quilt it. If I want to, it's going to start over here. You can see the green. It's going to start over here. It's going to end over here. If I want it to start over here to have less thread breakage, I can go into optimize and I can just do reverse all. And now my design will start back over on this side and make its way over here. I hope that this might help someone learn how, instead of just using them buttons on flipping a design or things like that, that you don't have to do it that way. You can totally twist this design. That's how you would do it in a border. That's how you would do it on either border, by twisting it rather than trying to flip that design. So I hope that that helps someone in the future. Till next time.